The icy wind howled, a relentless force of nature. It tore through Dmitri's thin coat, chilling him to the bone. He huddled in the trench, clutching his rifle tightly, seeking any warmth he could find. Fear gnawed at his gut, a constant companion in this frozen hell. This was war. This was the Eastern Front, a place of unimaginable hardship and sacrifice. Dmitri never wanted to be here, in this desolate place far from home. He was a farmer, a son, a brother, but duty called, and he answered. The enemy threatened his homeland. He had to fight, to protect everything he held dear. He thought of his family's small farm, the place where he grew up. He pictured his father's weathered hands, his mother's tired smile, the love and care they poured into their land. They were counting on him, their hopes and dreams resting on his shoulders. He had to be strong. He had to survive, for them, for his future, for his country. The year was 1942. The Eastern Front raged. The German war machine, the Wehrmacht, had invaded Russia. It was a brutal conflict. Millions clashed in a desperate struggle. The fate of nations hung in the balance. For a young soldier like Dmitri, it felt like the end of the world. He was caught in a maelstrom of steel and fire. Tanks roared, artillery thundered, men screamed, the air reeked of death. Dmitri was just 19. He was a simple farm boy from a village outside Moscow. He had kind eyes and a gentle soul. War had hardened him. He had seen things that haunted his dreams. He had lost friends, good men, in the blink of an eye. But he clung to hope. He fought for his comrades, for his family, for a future free from tyranny. Section 4. The Frozen Hellscape. The Eastern Front was a frozen hellscape, a place where hope seemed to vanish with each breath. Winter's icy grip was relentless, tightening its hold with every passing day. Snow fell in blinding sheets, creating a whiteout that obscured everything. Temperatures plummeted to unimaginable lows, turning the landscape into a deadly freezer. The cold was an enemy as deadly as any bullet, a silent killer that showed no mercy. It seeped into bones, numbing minds and bodies, making even the simplest tasks a monumental effort. Frostbite was a constant threat, claiming fingers, toes, and sometimes entire limbs. Many men froze to death in their trenches, their bodies becoming part of the frozen terrain. Food was scarce, and what little there was often froze solid. Supplies were meager, barely enough to sustain life. Sleep was a luxury few could afford, as the cold made it nearly impossible to rest. Every day was a struggle for survival, a battle against the elements as much as the enemy. Section 5. A brother's sacrifice. One day, Dmitri's unit was pinned down. German machine guns raked their position. Casualties mounted. They were running out of ammunition. Dmitri's best friend, Ivan, volunteered to take grenades to a forward position. It was a suicide mission, but someone had to do it. Ivan, with tears in his eyes, embraced Dmitri. He whispered, "For Mother Russia," and disappeared into the storm of bullets. He never returned. Section 6. Scars of War. The war finally ended. The echoes of gunfire and the cries of the wounded faded into silence. The world took a collective breath, relieved yet scarred by the conflict that had raged for years. Dmitri returned home, a changed man. The boy who had left for the front lines was gone, replaced by a soldier who had seen the worst of humanity. His eyes, once full of youthful hope, now carried the weight of his experiences. He had survived, but at a terrible cost. The memories of battle haunted his dreams, and the faces of fallen comrades lingered in his mind. Each day was a struggle to find peace within himself. He bore the physical and emotional scars of war. His body was marked by wounds that would never fully heal, and his heart carried the invisible scars of loss and trauma. The war had left an indelible mark on his soul. He found his village in ruins. His family was gone. He was alone. The once vibrant community was now a ghost town, the laughter of children replaced by an eerie silence. The devastation was overwhelming. The world he knew was gone. The familiar streets and homes were unrecognizable, reduced to rubble and ash. The life he had once known was a distant memory, replaced by a harsh new reality. But Dmitri refused to give in to despair. Despite the overwhelming loss, he found a spark of resilience within himself. He knew that giving up was not an option. He had to rebuild not just for himself, but for the memory of those who were lost. He rebuilt his life, brick by brick. With each stone he laid, he reclaimed a piece of his past and forged a path to a new future. The community slowly came together, united by a shared determination to rise from the ashes. He honored the memory of his fallen comrades by striving for peace and understanding. He shared his stories with the younger generation, hoping to impart the lessons he had learned. He wanted to ensure that the horrors of war would never be forgotten. The war had taken so much, but it had also taught him the value of life, love, and hope. In the end, Dmitri found solace in the simple joys of life, cherishing every moment with a renewed appreciation for the beauty of peace.